Hi everyone, hope you're well. So we're going to do practical task 11 and this video is just to help you with this assignment. Just a quick review. So we're going to work with functions, and just in terms of the difference between a function and a formula in Excel, this would be a formula where you always start with equal. So functions and formulas, the main thing that they have in common is they both do calculations, and both of them start with the equal sign. So there you see I have 2 plus 5, and that gives me 7, and let's add 2 here and add 5 there. Then here I can say that cell plus that cell. Now we have a function. Now the main reason why you would want to use a function is, let's say you just created a little calculator and you just always want to see what is the sum of two different numbers. So if I make this to a 5, as soon as I go outside of this cell, you'll see that is going to be 10, because this updates the value of cell B2, and that C2 didn't change, but if I were to change it to 10, this is going to be 15. So I don't have to go in here and retype 5 plus 10. It's a really basic way of explaining it, but this one is a formula and this is a function. So there are different types of functions. So you'll see that if you go here, you'll see different types of functions. And I believe there's also a way that you can go have a look at all the different types of functions. Here's the function library. So here you could just have a look through them. And if you hover your mouse over it, it tells you exactly what each of those do. So this returns the sine of an angle, returns the hyperbolic secant of an angle. So it can get quite advanced in terms of what you can do with it. And yeah, these are different ones you get. Sometimes you can also, depending on which version of Excel you have, if I wanted to search the max function, I can look for it here, and I can click on it, and then I can also put my functions in like this, and then they also tell you how to use it, which is really nice. But that was just on what a function is. Let's say open chapter 0814, so we're just going to open it, open link in new tab, and we need to use functions to calculate the average, minimum and maximum mark for each of the 4 tests without using numbers or codes. Okay, so without using numbers or codes. In the previous section we worked with absolute value and referencing cells. So I'm just gonna go to my downloads, open it, enable editing. By default, these files that we're working with is opened in these print preview states. So just go to view, say normal, and then we have the normal view. Then we just need to find the average, the minimum and the maximum. So you can type in the average, and then there are some functions you can use. And the very first one says returns the average of its arguments, which can be numbers or names, arrays or references that contain numbers. Okay, so you don't have to actually type all of that out. You can just press tab on your keyboard, which is the button just above the caps lock or to the left of the Q letter. So if I press that, you'll see I can put in number 1, and then there's a comma, then I can put in number 2, number 3, and you can do it like that. Or instead of putting in individual numbers, if you know all of them are in a range, which just means it's a bunch of cells, you can just select the entire range and then close it with the bracket and press enter. So there is our average. Then we can also extend this to relative reference the cell over here. So instead of it using the range just above it for Mark 1 here, this one is going to use the Mark 2, because since this went to the right, it also means that the range went to the right, so it keeps that into account. So that's why we have these ones over here. And then over here you can see the minimum function has been used, so you can say equal min, and then the very first one there returns the smallest number in a set of values, ignores logical values and text. So I'm just going to say minimum, please identify the minimum one, and it seems to be 31 in this one over here. So I'm going to relative reference it over here, and this one we're just going to say max, and we do the same thing, so it's going to give us the biggest one there. So 99 is the biggest, and we can just use relative referencing over there. So you can see we didn't use for the average, where we try to make this elaborate formula where we have to get the sum of all of this, or add all of them and then divide them by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't have to go and divide them then. So this is actually all you had to do with this one. Upload a PDF printout with the formula showing and the name of this file, name, surname, and function. So I'm just going to copy that, and then we want to show the formula, so go to formulas, and here you can say show formulas. You can see there's a shortcut on your keyboard that you can press, Control plus the, I'm going to call it the acute sign in English, or in Afrikaans at least I know it's the akute teken, or the grafis, but I'm currently not sure what you call it in English, but I'm just going to call it the acute sign. And then you can press that and you'll see here are all of the formula. But one thing that I do want to show you, instead of having to go double click on every single column over here to make everything show, which is very important. If your formulas are not showing, you can't be marked. This can't be marked. So if you select all the cells, so you do that by going to the very top left and you just double click on one of the columns, you'll see everything is now spaced out. So you don't have to go look for which one is not showing. You can still do that afterwards, but you can see that selecting all of them and then double clicking on the column, that makes the column the perfect width. Okay, and then we just say print, and you can see I can see all of my formulas, and then I'm going to say Microsoft Print to PDF. Usually by default a printer would be selected, but you just say print to PDF. You can see it over here. It seems to be on 2 pages right now, and I would like to have this on 1 page. So fit sheet on 1 page. There we go. So now everything's on 1 page. I can print it, and it should be named, that name on the assignment, and then I just replace my name, Jean-Claude, and then my surname, and then you should have a file on your in your documents just for IT, and then this is part of Excel, and this is functions 1, so I just say save, and then that is what you can upload. So I hope the video helps. Enjoy the rest of your day.